What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be anticipating for the future. I'm also going to give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow and do some in-depth technical analysis to talk about where I see the share price going. Now, before I do that or talk about anything involving the market or Tesla share price, I do have to mention a couple of very important things. First, the first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please do not take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but it's the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're not only going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500, but you're also going to get a free NEO share in this limited time offer that ends at the end of March. So if you want a free NEO share, check out the offer down below. It also gives you access to the Hong Kong exchange. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, in my previous video from yesterday, I told you guys that I saw this thing running to about the $1,020 to $1,030 range. And what ended up happening is we went as high as 1,040. So I was off by about $10. But then I told you guys that I later saw us descending back down and closing at $997. We ended up closing at $999. So I was very close when it came to that. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm always right because there are going to be many times where I'm wrong. I certainly did not predict Tesla to run this hard to the upside. I thought we would stop around at a lower level before seeing a bit of a pullback. And the crazy thing is, let me bring up the daily candles. Check this out. We are up 7 days in a row. Let me zoom right into this. This is just absolutely insane. I mean, it just shows that this thing is an absolute monster. And it does appear that we had short squeeze potential, right? You guys can see the short squeeze like scenario that played out. We were back down here at $750, and now we went to a peak of 1,040. That's almost $300 to the upside. That's hundreds of billions of dollars that are being pumped into this stock in terms of its market cap. I mean, that just shows how insane this thing is and how much it can run. Now, looking at Tesla, I'm going to be real with you guys. On any of these days, there could be a slight pullback, right? I'm not predicting it's going to happen tomorrow, right? But I'm just putting it out there that you have to be prepared for a slight pullback for the entire market, including Tesla. But remember, one of the things that helped fuel this to be very bullish was the Berlin Gigafactory opening, announcing their opening. So we do have another Gigafactory opening for Austin, and I think that's going to be pretty awesome too. Now, I don't think that this is going to cause us to run another like $500 in this short period of time, but I do think that this could lead to even more bullish momentum. But before we get there, and in order for us to go even higher, we have to maintain this high price level. And as of right now, it's showing lots of strength. That's the crazy thing. So right now, the fear and greed index is showing the markets more on the fearful side. I disagree. I think we're pretty neutral, maybe more on the greedy side. So things are improving. And as of right now, the reports are going crazy over the fact that Tesla just keeps going up and up and up, cracking past 1,000, which is what I told you guys yesterday. So what do I think is going to happen, right? That's what a lot of people are wondering. Well, here's the interesting thing. Let's take a couple of steps back. If I could find it, we have the SPY. When you guys look at the SPY, you're going to notice the fact that the SPY was actually kind of red today, and we were down about 1.29%. That's exactly what I told you yesterday, because if you bring up the minute candles, you can see that we had that gap that needed to be filled like way back here. We had that gap right here at about 444, and we ended up filling the gap pretty darn well. We ended up going back down to 443, so that was pretty predictable. But even though the SPY was red, Tesla held up very well. It actually dragged the market up with it. It was doing super, super well today. I mean, we went as high as 1,040, and it looks like the $1,000 level of resistance is not going to hold us back. So when it comes to Tesla, and I'm going to have to repeat this to you guys, typically when I do technical analysis, it's very, like, I could give you guys a good idea of what I expect, but it's a very tricky right now because of the fact that there's like a short squeeze event that's pushing this thing up really hard. So it's pretty tricky to be very accurate because we do expect a bit of a pullback to really come in the next upcoming days. I just don't know the exact date. So that means my predictions won't always be as accurate as they may have seemed before. But what I do expect for tomorrow is this. I think we're going to run to the upside, right? I think it's going to be a repeat of what happened today. We're going to run as high as maybe the $1,030 level. We're going to end up consolidating a little bit, maybe see lots of sideways action. Then we're going to start descending a little bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually closed a little bit in the red. Maybe we could close around the $995 level, maybe a little bit lower. But I do think it's going to essentially be a repeat of today. Now, I could be totally wrong. It's very possible for us to close a little bit in the green at around 1010, but I see it as a very, very close, maybe not as crazy as before, because if you actually look at the charts here, if we look at the daily candles, you're going to notice that the days are becoming a little bit less significant, at least as of right now, because right here we had very, very good amounts of green on these big run-ups. Then yesterday, or like the day before, we had this huge green candle. But now what happened today is we have a candle, but then we have a very big wick. Do you guys see how big the wick was? That means that we ran really high up, and then we ended up dropping and closing and having more price action at this lower range. So that's an indicator that we are getting closer to the peak, and we may actually start to descend a little bit from here. So like I said, Tesla is full of surprises. We did see a short squeeze like event that could still push us up, but I think the most probable scenario is us running up a little bit, right? Finding the peak again. We could even test like 1040 again. I mean, I would not be surprised. Consolidating at maybe a little bit of a lower range, then dropping once again and maybe closing a little bit in the red. So nothing too scary, nothing to be concerned about. We just need to hold up in these high levels because we have more bullish catalysts coming out. Because I think the new Texas Gigafactory is going to be absolutely insane. It's really going to push the share price, and I think people are very excited for that. So the last thing I'm going to look at just real quick would be, and we can actually look at the VWAP, and you guys are going to notice that we did trade a little bit below it at the very end, which could be a bit of a bearish indicator. RSI did end up like dropping just a little bit, not looking too bad. Looking at some 2-hour candles, you could see RSI is still pretty high, did descend a little bit. MACD and the 9-day moving average are still showing lots of bullish momentum. So, like I said before, it's looking pretty darn good right now. It could really go either way, but you guys know what I think is going to happen. That is very probable that we run up a little bit and descend at the very end. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. We just need to wait and see where we get that support. And pullbacks are completely normal. Don't look at a pullback as a bad thing. It's normal. We need pullbacks to gain support, gain strength before we continue on the upward trend. So be on the lookout for a potential pullback. The entire market may see a bit of a pullback maybe on Friday or the later days. So that could also bring us a little bit down. But once we do that, we just want to gain that support and then continue running after that going into next week. And that is what I think is going to happen. So I'm still very bullish for the long term of Tesla. I'm super excited, but I do want us to just recharge, relax a little bit, consolidate, gain the support we need before we start to really, really run, because we did see this phase of capitulation and we are seeing some very, very good bullish price action. Now, the real question is, are we going to continue to squeeze? It's still possible for there to be some momentum left. We're not necessarily at the end of it, but as of right now, from what I'm saying from my technical perspective, we may actually see a bit of a pullback a little bit sooner than later. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, because many bullish catalysts are going to push us right back up, and I'm still very excited. Anyways, I want to thank you all for listening. Please have a fantastic rest of the day. I kept it a little bit short today, but I just want you guys to know that don't lose faith. Don't be scared of slight pullbacks. Don't be worried, because this thing could actually run up really hard once again. It just surprises everyone, and it's a monster waiting to rip going forward. Anyways, thank you. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.